Are we live on YouTube right now?
It'll take a second for it to register. There's like a lag. So when I say something, if I were to watch it, I could hear myself being awesome like a couple seconds later.
Get to do a double awesomeness.
Let me double check.
Last week,
oh, there it is.
We went live on YouTube and not just for the platform.
Yeah, I'm just a dance teacher. I pretend to know something every now and then about technology, but I really don't know anything. And so when we did a live stream last week, it was supposed to just be for you guys, for Access TV members, and it just went out on the internet, and so we took it down. So, but this week, I'm pretty sure this is private. Let me double check. Yeah, I think so. Maybe. I mean, I guess we'll find out. Salsa. That's what we're doing today. And so we haven't done a lot of salsa. I'm really excited about getting into more salsa. Let me just be honest with you. I'm not a fan of salsa music, right? I love the dance though. Now, but saying that, when it came to country dancing, I didn't grow up liking country music. Actually, hating country music. So I do a lot of country dance, but it wasn't the music that drew me in. I was doing other stuff, and then started doing country. And then after I started doing country, because country was super fun, it's like, yeah, maybe the music's not so bad. Don't think that's going to happen with salsa music. I can't understand what they're singing about, but
I love it. But with anything, if you listen to the same stuff over and over again, it's nice to try something new. So
we play.
We don't do it a lot.
In the studio we dance. And by the way, what we're covering today is a completely different way to look at salsa. If you've taken any amount of salsa before, you were taught this forward and back, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Sometimes people call it quick, quick, slow. And they talk about here's your basic and here's the turn and there's the structure. And I'm not saying that stuff's not true. I mean, that is the basics, depending on what style of salsa you guys dance. But I would say that there's kind of an underlying thing of how salsa actually works that I've never really heard people talking about at all. And it's kind of crazy because and I've been teaching this way for several years, it makes it so easy to learn and so easy to understand. Now, if you've never danced salsa before, like, you have no bad habits, you don't have to worry about any of that other stuff, but you're starting in the right way.
Extra easy. I feel like I should have worn my Latin heels for this.
I'm wearing socks. I mean, you're wearing Nikes, and
I'll do my best. I'll be better next time.
All right. So before we get into the secret sauce of salsa, we do need to talk about the basic. If you have danced the basics before, know that we dance salsa on 1. Okay. Some people dance it on 2. There's multiple different styles. It's not that one's right or the other, personal preference. But I'm talking about the basics real quick, and we'll just go through this really quick, and then we'll just get right into the cool stuff. As with all dances, leader start with the left, follower start with the right. We're going to do a rock step where I'm going towards her. She's going back. So I do a small step forward with my left. She goes back. Then we keep our feet there replaced, and then we bring her feet back together. Do the opposite thing on the opposite side. Same thing. So I'm going back with my right. She's going forward with her left. Quick, slow, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Most salsa dancers, don't know why, most salsa dancers will count this 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. That makes sense. The steps are on counts 1, 2, 3, hold for 4. Step 5, 6, 7, hold for 8. That is true. That makes a lot of sense to think about it, especially from a teaching point of view, but you do you guys, all right? So we typically think of it as quick, slow. It's the same thing. Like, if you're watching somebody dance it, you wouldn't know whether in their head they're dancing at 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, or quick, slow, quick, slow. Either way, it's the same count. Okay. Now, salsa came from the mambo. Mambo was first, and a lot. Side note: a lot of times people will comment on our 2-step or our West Coast swing videos and stuff we post, and it's like, "Oh, you people are just stealing all the salsa moves and whatever." And I was like, "Yeah, so." Swing came out in like the 1910s or 1920s, and salsa came out like the 60s or something like that. I think it's probably the other way around. I don't know. Call me crazy.
Nothing's new under the sun. We just borrow and take, and dancing's fun. So,
but yeah, all of the we have 2 feet, 2 hands. There's only so many combinations of things. But a lot of the movements, if you enjoy swing, East Coast, West Coast, country swing, you enjoy 2-step, you're going to feel really at home with this, because a lot of the hand chains and stuff are very, very similar. Okay. Now, salsa is a spot dance, which means that if I'm dancing here,
but I find this so much easier than two-step. I would much rather teach salsa to a beginner than two-step because it's not progressing. You don't have to think of all this progressive footwork. It's just once you get this rhythm that he's going to break down this structure, it's super easy.
yep. Okay. So it's a spot dance, which means we're not traveling around. Just like Rose said, it doesn't progress around the floor. We're typically dancing here in spot, like we're dancing in the spot. Okay. You're going to see salsa where it breaks on one, breaks on two, whatever. You're going to see salsa where we're both kind of going back and we're both kind of going back, or cumbia, whatever. You're going to see a lot of different styles. But know that this rhythm is fairly consistent and not that it never changes. There's some rhythmical variations. But if you can keep in your mind 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, or quick, quick, slow, quick, quick, slow, as a follower, if you understand the structure I'm getting ready to tell you, you don't need to know all the steps. You don't need to know all the steps at all. You need to know the rhythm. You need to know, you need to know how to dance and turn and connect with a partner. But you don't need to know all the steps. You need to understand what lies beneath, which is what we're going to show you now. Okay, so before we do that, I want to show you a basic term.
A good rule of thumb for followers is when in doubt, just keep your rhythm and you'll get on somewhere.
Guys, just spin her if you'll figure it out eventually. But anyways, so if we're here, this is section 1, and then we have section 2. Now, in a minute, it's going to make sense on why we teach this way. But again, this is the first half. We call that section 1. And then we have the second half, section 2. Now, if you want to break that down further, it's going to make more sense in a second. But I'm going to say his half, and then I'm going to say her half. Now, if you've danced salsa, you never heard it this way before, but you'll understand why in a second. You have her half. Whoever's going forward, that's your half. So if I'm going forward, his half, she comes forward, her half.
Quick tip, keep these steps super small.
Yeah. You don't want a lot of movement. Salsa music gets really crazy fast, and it takes twice as long to get to here and back as it does here and back. You don't want to move your spine a lot, right? Yeah. So we can have some amount of movement, but it's not like I'm dancing it so forward and back, especially when the music's super fast. So we're going to do a basic turn. I'm going to show it to you, and then we'll break it down. So we have his half, and then we have her half, right? Now, the one thing I would say is you'll notice when Rose does a turn, it starts and finishes on her half. I'm replacing her half with a turn. You got his half, he comes forward, that's quick, quick, slower, 1, 2, 3. Then we're in the middle, then she does a turn. Now, when she does a turn, there's always one foot basically going to be in the center. So we have quick, quick, slow. Now her weight is forward onto her right foot. Her right foot's kind of stay in that spot for now. As she steps forward, she puts her weight back onto it, that's half a turn. And then she finishes, and then we go.
So followers, just make sure your weight is on that left foot and you're ready to go back on your right foot. There, don't be split weight and then you're like, oh, okay, I have to keep going because it's fast. So be ready.
How was that again?
Anthony will never do anything twice. I will always do it again.
She'll laugh at random stuff, and it's like, you can do that again. So I have no idea what you're even laughing about. How can I do that again? But anyway, she have her half. She starts and finishes in that half. Now, it becomes more and more important over time that you understand the his and her half, because if she's doing something, it is most of the time, not all the time, it is most of the time going to start and finish in that half. And if he's going to do something, because guys, you get to turn sometimes too, it's going to start and finish on his half. All right. Now, if we did an alternating turn, alternating meaning like she does it, I do it, she does it again, and we go back and forth. Understand that when we do that, whenever something happens, it's going to happen on your half, start and finish. The partner who's not on their half is basically just still doing the basic, even though your partner's turning, right? Yep. So I'll show you what this looks like. So we'll have like his half, her half, his half, her half, his half.
Followers, keep your timing. Half. As he is turning, make sure that you're still doing your footwork and your timing. Don't just stand there because then you're going to get confused with your feet. Also, side note, these are not my underwear. This is my workout clothes. I'm going on a run after this. I saw it in the camera. I was like, this is not okay.
Yeah, it was like 20 minutes before the lesson. So, we got that class and I guess, oh my gosh, it's Thursday.
Yeah. Workout clothes, matching set. Not a thong. Okay.
I'm wearing the thong.
As you should.
So we have his half, her half, She's done. Now she's going to do the basic in place as it's his half. Then it's her half again, start and finish. He can come underneath for his half. This is just demonstration of things that are possible. Then we're going to do a cross by lead. She's going to move over here for her half. And then maybe he goes again, or whatever it is that we're going to do, right? The point is that if you understand, keep the rhythm, keep it in place, followers. If you're going to turn it, it's not that you never turn the opposite half, but most of the time, especially in these beginner, novice, intermediate stages, you're hanging out while he's doing something. And you know, if he's going to lead you to do a thing, it's going to happen on your half, right? That process, that system breaks down across 95% of everything you do in this dance, right? So regardless of the variation, like we'll do a few variations, we'll do some stuff, just basics, not anything too crazy, but I want to call it out and count so that you can see the his and hers. If I'm doing something, if I'm turning, if I'm doing something, I'm going to be saying his. If she's doing something, I'm going to be saying hers.
And a little tip for the leads, make sure that if you say it out loud, it really helps when you're supposed to lead her to do something.
His, hers. We'll just do what we've already done. His, hers. He goes under for his. She comes across for hers. He goes forward for his. She turns for hers. It's a hammerlock. His, then she goes underneath for hers. His, hers. His, hers, his, hers. His, hers. You can see that if you watch those basics, if you watch them, if she's doing stuff on her stuff, right? That's technical dance jargon. She's doing stuff on her stuff.
So complicated.
We're going to do a series at XNS TV. I'm not sure when to do it, but at some point within the next month or two, you'll see a whole series where we're starting to kind of flesh out all of this stuff. So you can see a lot of the cool stuff in there. Salsa is a fun dance. If you're only into country music, I get you. The music, not my favorite either. Rose likes it.
Love it.
But the dancing is super, super fun.
Think of it like a little John Party flavor. He fuses a lot of this kind of music with country. So get on board.
That's a interesting take. But all right, guys, I hope this was helpful, at least to understand the basics. I know this wasn't a lot of moves or anything like that, but I promise you this foundation, as we start doing more salsa and you start learning more salsa, this stuff, his and her structure, halves, that is going to play into all the other things. And now that you know that, now we're able to get somewhere. If you had done that, if you just learned here's a basic and here's a turn or whatever, you learn the steps and you never really registered there's two halves and they're separate for the different partners, then as you get to a certain point, you just feel like you're constantly climbing this mountain, where by having that foundation, it just gets a lot easier from here. Cooler, but easier. All right, cool. All right,
Much more
thanks,
fun when
guys.
it's easy.
Let me know what you guys want to see in the platform, because I'm getting ready to do the next month's live class calendar.